you could put I took the covers off. Today is September 19, 2019. I'm taking a break from editing some of my summer videos, and this is something I guess, completed, and I wanted to edit it and get it out of the way, is how I made natural pure salt. So I wanted to share with you the process, and I'm a little bit cuckoo for doing it, but I just wanted to share it with you. So here is the video of how I made sea salt. So if you like the video, take a moment, share, like, and subscribe. And here's the video. Thanks for watching. So what I did is that when we went to the beach with the kids over the summer, I took with me some empty gallons of, I guess, water and milk, and I cleaned it and I took it with me. The idea was for me to grab some seawater. So that day we were supposed to go to the beach, but later on you will see this video because I have not edited it yet. We were supposed to go to the beach that day, and that's when I was gonna take the water, the seawater. Then when we got there, the weather was pretty decent. It was sunny and everything, but there was a chill in the air. And with the kids, I really didn't want them to get sick. When you go in the water and then a little wind passed by and you're freezing and stuff like that. So this was like 10 times because it was really chilly that day. So we decided not to go to the beach. Instead, we took a couple walks around. Wait, do not cross. Fighting. Where's Michael? We could still meet, yeah.
Come, Michael.
And then later on, my husband was like, let's go hiking. And we find a spot where we could go hiking. And while at the hiking trail, and we ended up by, I guess, a private road. I'm not sure. It's not private. If you live in the area, I guess the locals will know it. But we don't live in the area. So we spotted it by accident. And I took that opportunity to grab the bottles to put the seawater in it. So at that time we were walking. Later on, while we were in the trail, we found out that cars could drive by. So I told my husband, let's go back, get the car, and then come back to get the seawater. And we did. We grabbed it. And now here is the process of how I made sea salt. Thanks for watching. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Today is September 17, 2019, and it is about, it's close to 12 noon. So I just took a shower. I went to the gym today. I did a quick leg workout. That's going to be in a separate vlog. But I just took a shower, and then I was gonna get the kids lunch or dinner ready, start prepping stuff. Then I keep passing through here. Let me show you guys. These bottles, this bottle of water on the floor, I have a video. I did record how I got them. So here's a clip of how I got them. So now what I want to do is I want to start getting rid of them. In order for me to get rid of them, it's not like I'm in need of salt. is like one of those experiment. I sort of did it before with a smaller portion, but it worked, so I wanted to do at a grander scale. So when we went to the beach over the summer, I decided to bring these gallon of water to fill them up. So what I'm gonna go through the process with you. So what let me fix the camera. What I need pretty much is a very fine strainer. This is the only one that I have. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to throw this away. For some reason, I kept it because I cannot find another strainer that has this fine kind of mesh when I need to strain a very fine kind of thing. So I need this in order for me to strain the water. So this water, for example, I purposely let it sit. If you look at the bottom, there's how do you call sand in it. So that's from the thing. So I'm gonna try to strain it. I'm gonna try not to like move it too much. Stir it so the sand don't get to mix with it. This I don't use often. The container that I'm using to, sure, I don't see any sand in there, I guess. So this water is gonna be, I feel like I should strain it again. See the thing at the bottom? Did I zoom in too much? Let me zoom out a little bit. Look at the bottom. So I'm gonna leave that alone. See it? How dark it is? So it did sit at the bottom very well. So a little bit of sand is in here. I cannot really see anything in there. So I'm gonna let this boil for a very long time. So yeah, so that's part of it for now. I don't have a bigger thing to should I strain it again? I don't see anything at the bottom. Yeah, I think it's clean. I did clean this before. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna let it boil for as long as it drain out. So the reason I don't use this often. This is not something I use often. When it's done, I will show you when it's completely dry. By the time I go pick up my oldest, if it's not dry yet, I'm gonna turn off the fire because I don't want to leave it on while I'm out. So today I'm gonna do 1 of the gallon, and then I have 5 more to go. So yeah, that's it for now. So right now it's 1:16. It's boiling. I know for a fact I'm gonna have to clean all of this later because you're gonna see, you can see the white part here. That's the salt. Let me see if you guys can see it on the side of the handle. I had it covered, but it was spilling all over. Let me just leave it like that. So a lot of these gonna have white stuff here. So yeah, right, it is 3:16. I'm about to pick up my son. There's still a lot of water, but I need to turn it off for safety reason. There's still a lot of water in there, so you can still see some of the salt in there when I come back. Just got back. You can see the salt at the bottom. I almost forgot to show you guys. It is 6:13. I just turned this off and it's really hot. I almost forgot it. There's the salt inside. There's the salt. I forgot it. I was doing some stuff at the computer. Come here, Michael. Let me show you something. Remember when we went to the beach and it's hot? Do not touch it. That's the salt from the water we were. Remember you didn't want to get out the car?
Yeah.
You and Mark? And me and Daddy went to get the water. So that's 1 of the gallon on the floor. You wanna see, Mark?
Whoa, 1 of the gallons? Does that mean we got free salt now? Can we still use the salt for the food?
Do not touch it.
That's all the salt that you got from the salt water?
Yeah.
So we could use the salt for food too?
Yes, we can.
Oh my god, that's free salt. We should.
Why you have to be so exaggerated like that? It's not like it's.
But if
Anyway, so there it is. had to use this cloth to strain it again because there were too many dirt in it. So much cleaner than before. Strain it a couple times. 6:51 a.m. the next day, and doing this. It's almost dry. You'll see the crystallization at the bottom. I'm gonna take my son to school in a few, so here's my next batch of salt. When I come back, I'll deal with it. I'm gonna take my son to school. Alright, today is June 18, 2019, and it's 8 o'clock. I just came from outside, dropped my son to school, both of them. Today I'm feeling the same way as I was feeling yesterday. Unmotivated, a little bit tired. I don't know why. So I decided not to go to the gym today. Okay, so the second batch is done. I completed this morning. So I'm gonna get this out so I could do the next one. So that's the one I did yesterday, and it finished, and it came out, when I pull it out, when I dried it, it came out in one big piece. So I'm hoping this one does the same. I started scraping it off this morning, but it was time for me to take my oldest to school, so I had to stop. So let me do that now. So instead of using my phone to do this, I'm gonna set up a little bit, put the camera so you could see me scraping it off, because it's kind of hard to do it. So I would like to show you how I'm getting rid of this part. Okay, so I'm setting up, put this on, turn this on, make sure I'm pointing to there's the salt in here. This is why I had to use something I don't use often, otherwise I'll be messing up my pots. So one of the things I decided to do, I'm not finished yet. The thing is still in there. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna start the process of the other one. The very first one that I did, I only used this to strain the dirt and the sand out. And then last night, my second batch, I was looking for some sort of a cloth that I don't need, that I could strain more of the, I was seeing some like little stuff on top of the water. So I wanted something finer than this to drain, to strain the water. So I find this cloth. I no longer need that. I used to use for the kids when they were babies, but I don't need it anymore. So I'm gonna do that. We have this. There's the sands are still at the bottom, so it's always good to let the water sit for a while, couple days before you start doing that, and then you will have the thing sit at the bottom. So I'm trying to make sure. And when I put it in the other pot that I'm gonna boil it in, I'll strain it again. Once I get to the bottom, I'll just get all the dirt. I don't know if you can see all the dirt on the cloth. You see it now? I'll put the rest over. There it is. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean the cloth, and when I'm ready to pour this in here, I'm gonna strain it again. Put this. There's a little bit left at the bottom. So it's like it went to two strain. This one and that one at the bottom, the yellow. Okay. I'm gonna clean this just to show you. This is the dirt, the sand that came from the thing. I'm gonna do this. So what I am gonna do is I could start boiling it, but I will strain it again. I'm not gonna let it dry out completely like I do with this one. So I'm gonna start the process, let it get hot. And if I'm having too much problem peeling this, I probably will put a little bit more water in this and just let it boil again. Let me dry my hand. So that's it for now. So one of the things I just did here, I turned on the stove, let this get hot again, and I was able to get bigger chunks to come out. Let me see. Yep, bigger chunks come out when it's kind of a little bit hot. So, but I don't want it to be too hot where I can't even hold the thing. Let's see. To do it with the knife, let's see. Yep. Yeah, when it's hotter, bigger chunks come out. Maybe that's why I was able to get the... Let me turn this off because it's getting too hot. I don't want it, I can't hold it anymore. I got bigger chunks out of it when it's hot. Chunks are coming out. Like I said, this is not for someone, this is just an experiment for me, alright? So it's not like I'm in need for salt. Where is it? I have this salt up here, so it's not like I'm desperate for salt. And it's just that little curiosity in me that wanted to try it. Yeah, so when it's a little bit hot, they come out much quicker. So let me do that, and I don't need to waste film just to show you. So I took a good amount out. I have this little piece in here. I can't take it out, it's taking me forever. So what I'm gonna do is that that's the amount of salt I got so far from 2 gallons. So I'm gonna put this aside for now, and then again I clean it. I am going to restrain this one that I started boiling. Let's switch side. I want this to be in the back, this in the front. Let's see, since this just... I'll put it here for now. So far from 2 gallons is this. That's the amount of salt that I got. I didn't even measure it or anything. So yeah. I'm probably gonna grind it, strain it. Shall I do this part just to show you guys? Too much work right now, but I don't need the salt right now. I just want to do that process. Start getting rid of those bottles, those gallons of those plastic containers in the house. So yeah, for now this is it, and it is 8:43, so it's probably gonna take me all day, but luckily I have other things to do. I don't know if I should start boiling this. Nah, I don't want to mess up this. Let me move this to the back. It just needs to be strained one more time into this. If I had another pot that I don't need, that's kind of big, I will do it, but this one is a good pot. I don't want to do that. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and this is an experiment. I'm not an expert in this, and I just wanted to try it, and I think I succeeded. I got the salt that I needed. So that's it. You know, one of the things that came to mind as I was doing the salt thing, I'm wondering if the same process apply for sugar cane, to get sugar. If you boil maybe I should look it up on YouTube. Hopefully somebody put it out there. If you boil the liquid from the sugar cane and it dried out, and if that's kind of sugar you get out of the sugar cane. So that's just a thought.
Okay.
Alright, this is what I got, the last few ones. My hardest part is to get these out. Alright. This is it. I have this plus these. Alright, so I gave up on the last one. It's hard to come out. I think I have enough. This needs to be dried out. So, yep, that's it. So 2019, and it's 10 a.m. 9:56, but I rounded off. Just came from the gym. So much better workout than Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? No, Tuesday. Yesterday, Wednesday, I didn't go to the gym. Understand what's going on? I will ask him tonight. So that's that. The other thing is, there's my salt. So, I mean, it was an experiment that I was trying to do, and it worked. This is the salt. There's still some water in it. I have some, I guess, good and bad thing about the way that I did it, and I'm glad that I used a pot that I'm not really using. But if I were to use something that I need, or non-stick pan, it's not worth it because you're gonna mess up your pan. So my advice, okay, this I don't really need it, to tell you the truth. It was an experiment. So I guess my advice to anybody who wants to try it is that one, use a pot that you don't really need. Don't use a non-stick pot, because you're gonna ruin that pot. Because once the water dry, it's really hard to get the salt out. My second thing is, I guess yesterday when I first did it, the thing sort of tricked me. I thought it was gonna be easy to remove the salt, because after the thing had cooled down, and that was the first batch that I did, a big chunk of the salt came out. So I was like, oh yeah, that would be great. So that's why I was motivated to do the rest. You could there's, you know, it came out like this. You see, I didn't even grind them yet. It came out like a big chunk. So I thought, I actually broke it off so it could fit into this. And the rest of the batch did not work well like that. I had to scrub them out to get whatever you see here. So what I did, the third and third, fourth, fifth batches, what I did is that I didn't let the salt dry out completely. I let it somewhat where I could scoop some of the salt out. As you can see, there's still some water in it. Okay, let's see. I'm using my cell phone, so you could see there's still some water. You see? Some water. So I could scoop it out very easily. And the pot in there that I use, see, I have to let it sit in there. You could see there's the salt that still stick in there. I gave up on it and I just let it be, let it soak in. So my advice to you is, the second advice is, don't let the salt completely dry out. When it's about to really dry, just scoop the salt out and put it on something like this. And then I guess I could, if I want, I could put it in the stove and for whatever minutes, and to let it completely dry out. But right now, there's still water in it. What's my third advice? What will I say? My third advice is, it's really not worth it to do it if you're somebody like me. It was just an experiment. The drying, to boil it, it takes a long time. So it's easier to just, you know, buy the salt from a local whatever place is, because it takes a lot of gas or electricity that you're using to boil it. So it wasn't really worth it, but I'm happy that I did it. I might even do it again, because at least I know it's pure salt, sea salt. That's the only thing. The third, fourth and final advice, I don't know. If I think of any, I'll come back and I'll tell you what's the fourth advice is. But other than that, that's it. This is it. You know, I took it from the beach. My husband and I did it. And then it was an experiment that I wanted to do. So my husband laughed at me, and he's like, you know, but he still helped me. So that's it. Okay, now that I thought about it, let me rethink about the advice. My first advice is pretty much is when you getting the water, make sure you go deeper into the ocean to get the cleaner water. The closer you are at the shore, the more sand you're gonna get. So the deeper you go, the deeper that you go to the ocean, the cleaner water you're gonna get. Second thing is when let the water, once you gather the water, you bring it home, let it sit for a couple of days. That way you get all the sand, the heavy stuff go down the bottom of the container or whatever it is that you get the water from. And the third advice that I have is when you are gonna boil it, use a pot that you don't really need, a pot that you're not too careful, because it could ruin, once the water dry, it could ruin your pot. All right. And then what is it, fourth advice is when you putting the water into the pot, use a strainer that is very fine, very fine. If you have a cloth, as a matter of fact, that's what I had done. I had used this. I kept this. I've mentioned it on other videos yesterday. I kept this because the mesh is very fine and I couldn't find any mesh that is like that or finer than this. So I kept this. It's all broken and stuff. I kept this until I find something better. Luckily I did, because this thing has been broken for years. I still can't find a good mesh. Plus I don't think I've looked deep enough. So use a mesh, a strainer that is very fine, or use a cloth. That's what I had used. You see the stain from the thing from yesterday is still there. So use a cloth to really gather the really finer dirt from the water. And that was fourth. Fifth, what will I say? Don't let it dry out completely. If you let it dry out completely, you have a hard time to scrape off the salt from the pot. So wait until it's something at this kind of consistency. I'm making coffee. This kind of consistency where there's a little bit of water in it. At least you could let it sit out. You could drain it or probably put it, if you have if you live in a private house, you just leave it outside to dry, which would be better, as a matter of fact, to let it dry, sun dry, that's the word, sun dry out. It will be much better. If I think of anything else before I edit this video, I'll be more than happy to add it, but that's my advice to it. And if you're not really at need for it, it's really not worth it. If you're using the system that I'm using, where I live in an apartment, I'm using gas stove because it takes a long time to dry out. But if you have a big yard or something like that, you have something to let it sun dry, by all means go for it. But if you live in an apartment, to do it the way that I did it, it's really not worth it, because the amount of time it takes to dry the water is like you could buy a couple, containers of salt. But then again, at least I know this salt is pure. I know what's in it. I took it straight out from the ocean, so that's the plus side of it. But other than that, if you live in an apartment and you're doing it the way that I'm doing, it's really not worth it. So yep, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.